Chapter 129 Devastation. Ow, my head. Feels like I'm drunk. Where are we? I ground lightly as I open my eyes. At first, everything is blurry and out of focus. But after a few seconds, I could make out a few details. I was in a large stone room with windows on either side, and what looked to be a display off to the right. Artificial light shone down all around me, leaving barely any shadows. After a few seconds, I began to push myself up. But once I was on all fours, I threw my head up to look around and stumbled to a shield. The shield shimmered black upon impact, stayed light black. Well, shit, I muttered, looking around for a slightly crouched position. This is not good. I don't know if you do know this, but teleportation. I faced and chuckled. Of course. I formally entered my room, my house, and nothing. What? I tried again. I was met with the same results. Oh, this can't be happening. Ah, you're awake. Val said Muggsy walked in the room. I looked at him and glared. Where am I? He smartly dropped his shield and trotted over me. Why does it matter? You should be more worried about what Number has planned for you instead. Like what? I questioned, eyeing him with clear hatred. He just smiled and turned. You'll see. And with that, he trotted off, leaving me alone. I suddenly looked around, looking for a way to escape. But sadly, that was impossible. I hung my head and felt a tear in my eye. I rolled down my face and fell to the ground, where it sits against the shield. Why? Why can't I have one break? All I want to do is spend one decent day with my family and not have to worry about all this danger. I snapped before continuing. At least everyone is okay. No, not everyone. More tears began to roll down my face as I remember seeing the town being blown to pieces. All those innocent ponies. That wasn't their fight. They didn't deserve to die. I choked back more tears as I remember all the ponies who I knew and loved. Oh, this is priceless. The great Lance, crying. Number said with a large smirk as he stood over me. I filled it with hay-filled eyes and snarled. Why? Why did you have to attack on us on this day? Why couldn't you have told us to meet you out in the forest like last time? He smiled and patted his shield. Why not? We ordered a high-bounty count, and that was the best way to get it. Hey. He yelled, laughed, and turned his face foul and finally infernal. Wait a minute. Let me back up. I yelled in anger, summoned the shield. You bastard! He laughed and turned his face foul and finally infernal, who had just walked into the room. Foul, are you ready for the transfer? Foul nodded his head and looked at me with an evil smirk. Transfer? I muttered. Number swirled around to face me and grinned. Oh yes, to transfer. I Number frowned. Transfer as in, you know that little trick you have? The one where you regenerate and heal yourself? He questioned, face twitching into a smile. I received urge to go up and nodded. He smirked to watch as Foul positioned himself next to my shield of prison. Well, Foul here knows a little trick to transfer that over to me. Sadly, for you anyway, you will no longer have this ability. He smiled smugly as I groaned in anger. And after the transfer is done, we'll move on to a few of your other abilities. I stumped the ground. That's not possible. It is possible, Lance. I know. I just don't want to believe it. Number threw his head back laughing. We'll see. 10 minutes earlier. No! No! Twice screamed as she pounded against the large black shield that encased Ponyville. Giro looked in the shield and felt pang of guilt as he looked at the burning remains of once peaceful town. This was his fault. He had given Lance the wrong information, and so many innocents had paid for it. Now! Anna yelled as he and a few others unicorns shot beams of magic at the shield, trying to bring it down. Giro looked around at all the ponies who had been outside the shield at the time it went up, and at all of Lance's students who were desperately trying to break it down. Twilight continued to scream out, slamming her hooves against the shield in anger. Giro slowly walked up behind her and put a hoof on her shoulder. Twilight, please, calm down. She twisted around and yelled in anger, tears streaming down her face. Calm down? How can I be calm when I just saw my husband get taken by Nightmare? Giro felt another pang of guilt. I'm sorry. She didn't begin to scream, but stopped herself. Giro, it wasn't your fault. I just want my husband to be okay. Giro gave a slow nod. I'll find Lance, I promise. Twilight's gaze suddenly hardened. You know where he is, don't you? Giro looked away. Yes. Twilight turned his head back to face her. You're taking me with you. Giro looked in her eyes and said in a serious voice. No, I will not allow. Twilight stumbled home and pointed at him. You're taking with you, and that's final. Giro going to clench his teeth. All right. If you come, you stay behind me. Twilight smiled slightly and turned to face her friends, who had trotted over them as they had a slight fight. Are you okay? Are you okay, Twilight? Abjad asked with a look of concern. Twilight nodded and looked towards the shield. Girls, listen, girls. We know where Lance is. Gil and I are going to go find him. I want you girls to stay here and help the ponies in need. Now look, Alex said sternly as she held her eyed her friend. We're not going to allow you to run up and face all those guys by yourselves. If you go, we go. The others nodded their heads in agreement. Twilight had a hood to her face. If you all come, we won't only be Twilight, Gil said as she looked at the group. She turned to face them, frowning. I think we'll need their help with this. She raised an eyebrow. Why? He waved his hood over them all. You're all the Elms of Harmony. That's the most powerful weapon we have against them. We're taking them with us. She began to say something, but Garrett shook his head, silencing her. Twilight sighed and turned to her friends. Rainbow Dash? Rainbow Dash looked up at her and stood up straight. Go to Caroline, get the Elms of Harmony. Once you have them, bring them back here. He was solid. On it! She then spun around, shot in the air, heading at top speed towards Canterlot. She then looked at the others. While she's gone, we're going to help as many points we can when that shield goes down. Giro smiled low as they all gave a small cheer. Not all points are bad, like they are in the future. 2 minutes later, a minute after the shield came down, Giro trotted down the street, looking at the burning remains of the buildings. A few points stumbled around, blood covering a few. The sight was painful for him. He knew many of those ponies. After he cleared the streets and came to the town, where most of the fight was taking place, he saw a few ponies standing close together. When he was closer, he recognized them as his friends, or the ponies who were his friends in the future. Only one of them was standing, Frederick, who was looking around. Tears coated his face. Gil looked down at the others grins when he saw Grace. Her right foreleg was twisted at an ankle, clearly broken, and bruises and cuts covered her body. Peter's face was slightly swollen, blood streaming out of his broken snout. Greg didn't have a scratch on him, only a large bruise around his neck. Frederick tilted his head up to the sky. This is my fault. Gil shook his head and put a hood and shied. No, it's not. If it's anyone's, it's mine. Fred looked down at him sadly. I could have beaten my father. I just refused to actually use his skills to turn me back on Earth. Gil cocked his head slightly and raised his eyebrow. He taught you skills? Why would he do that? Frederick silently hung his head. My father always wanted me to be part of the family business. He kept forcing me to take all those fighting classes. He made sure I learned how to fight hand to hand. But I told myself I would never use what he made me learn. I'm so stupid. Gil put him on a reassuring smile. You're not stupid. You just did what you thought was best. If you Frederick sliced a hook to the air and flared his horn, causing Saddleback to lift off the stage and floor to himself. I will no longer go about this peacefully. If he wants to hurt and kill others, then I'll just have to stoop to his level. Before Giro could ask, Fletcher pulled out his rune and focused his magic on it. A bright light flashed, causing Giro to look away. When Giro looked back, his eyes went in awe. Fletcher was dressed in a full-on suit of steel-colored armor, the same one he had used on that night so long ago when Cole was trying to kill him. He still had the two swords by his side, each one with the same names Sanger and Yolash carved inside the sheath. You still have that? Giro said in slight awe. Fred looked at him, half his face hidden behind the metal mask. Of course, I knew I would need it. He then leaned forward, become deadly serious. Yeah, where are they? Can you wait till he turned his hood across slightly? Tell me! Gil recoiled and pointed towards the forest. They are at the Nightmare Castle, the one from the show. Frederick closed his eyes. Thank you. He then turned and lowered his head. I'm going to make him pay for all the pain he's caused. His head snapped and he shot forward silently, flying at a high speed towards the every forest. Giro took a step after him, but the groans from Peter stopped him. Instead, he moved to the side and kneeled down next to Peter. Peter, can you hear me? Peter groaned again and gave a weak nod. Giro put a hoof on his shoulder. Hang in there. Help will be here soon. Over to the side, Grace let out a weak whimper as she sat and looked at her broken foreleg. Giro stood and rushed over to her. No, stay down, Grace. She begged in protest, but allowed him to lay her back down. Giro stood and looked around, watching as the uninjured ponies ran around helping the hurt ones. A few were carrying either concussions or dead ponies on their backs. He sighed and carefully picked up Grace and then Peter. Twilight strained herself as she lifted a pile of rubble off of her pony. When it was lifted high enough, she threw her head to the side, sending it into the street. She then galloped forward and kneeled down next to the pony. The pony cut and looked up at her, forcing a pained smile. Thank you. Twilight smiled back and stood up. She then levitated the pony up and began to walk towards the medical tent, holding the pony in front of her. The medical tent had been thrown up in a haste, almost full of ponies. It wasn't enough for every pony, but it was better than nothing. As she reached it, she laid the pony down on an open cot and turned to leave. But Gil stopped in front of her. Twilight, we have to leave as soon as possible. She looked at the sign, saw Grace and Peter on two separate cots, both resting. Why? Don't we have to wait for Rainbow Dash to get back? She asked as he turned attention back to Giro. Giro frowned. Frederick. He ran off to face his father. Alone. Twilight's eyes went in shock. He did what? He can't do this alone. Giro nodded. I know. That's why you must leave now. Twilight looked around and yelled out to one of her friends. Rarity! Rarity looked up and saw Peter. As she made her way to him, she answered, Yes, dear? Tell the girls that me and Girl are going to go now. Rarity stopped at her friend. Now? Why now? Frederick's already ran off, she said simply as she began to push Giro out the tent. When they were outside of the tent, Twilight started to gallop towards the forest. Come on, we'll be there in 15 minutes if we hurry. Or 5 if we fly, Giro says he goes to catch up. Fly? Twilight said she came to a stone looking strangely. But you don't have wings. That's one of the differences between my lads and you. Giro chuckled and grabbed the edge of his cloak. Oh, that's not one of the differences between us. He then yanked the cloak and tossed it aside, revealing a pair of strong wings. Twilight sighed and shook her head. I should have known. Giro turned to the sign lord himself. Well, come on then, we don't have much time. Twilight looked at him and gave a single nod. She then climbed on his back and shifted into a comfortable position. Giro stood up and spread his wings. Let's get this party started. He then took off in the air, flying as hard as he could towards the castle. Oh man, they didn't say this would be that painful. I was currently curled up on the ground inside the shield, panting heavily. Apparently, that's what he uses cause physical exhaustion. So far, taking my ability to regenerate and my ability to teleport. I don't know what's next though. Now me and Val we're currently laughing together, making a joke or something. I looked towards the window and saw a flash. Lightning. Looks like a storm's rolling in. Do you think it can take its immortality? Remember Axel? I shrugged. I don't know, that's the hardest thing to take from someone. I tried to take my brothers, but failed. I may be able to, but it'll take a while. Never looked at me and smirked. Don't worry, we'll have all the time in the world. I gulped audibly. If they take that, then I don't want to think about it. Fletcher flew down the path, a pissed off look on his face. He was nearing the castle, only a few more minutes to go. Out above him, he heard the sound of thunder and felt a drip before his face as he sped down the narrowing path. He didn't pay attention to it, but he did pay attention to the sound of flashes move out to his side. Before he could turn his head, something slammed into him and sent him flying off the path into a patch of bushes and trees. He slammed into a fairly large tree and completely tore it out the ground as his body soared through the air. Fletcher ground twisted in midair and landed on all fours, facing his attacker. Fletcher landed a few yards away and smiled. You can still stand up the beating I gave you? Impressive. And he didn't smile as he looked Fletcher over. Armor and swords? Really, boy? You always was a fucking geek about that stuff. Fletcher drew two swords with his magic and held it in front of himself. No more games. We're going to end this. Right here, right now. Richard flexed out his talons and grinned. So, you've actually grown an actual pair? You ready to take on your old man and fight to the death? Fletcher leaned down to a fighting stance. I should have done this the first time we fought. Richard laughed and also leaned down to a fighting stance. Oh, as I remember, the first time we fought was back on Earth, and we both know how that ended for you. Fletcher let out a low growl. This time, it won't be me who takes the cold steel of a blade. Richard chuckled and tensed. Of course it won't be, Freddy. Richard then shot forward, talons raised. Frederick also shot forward, both of his swords raised and ready to strike. They reached each other, and